Fudge.
Welcome back. Welcome to me back to YouTube because I haven't made a video in like a month or 2 or 3 or 4. I don't know how long it's been, but I feel like I have a pretty good excuse for why I haven't made a video in that long. And that's because I have a couple announcements and then I'll get to the heart of this video quickly. But one announcement, I can't tell you yet because it's not public. The second announcement is really big and I'm really excited about it, and that is the project I've been working on since March. So March, April, like 3 or 4 months, is finally finished. It's almost ready to be out. And that is my newest book, Now Let Me Find a Stopping Place. And I don't know if it shows up in the camera very well, but this is almost twice as big as my previous books, which I think just looks awesome. Nothing satisfying as writing a real big fat book. So what it is, real quick, I think I'm gonna have another video where I dive more in depth about it. This is just the proof. The actual book is not out yet, but it looks really, really good. I've made some minor changes to this, and I am so stoked to get it out. So, what it is Now Let Me Find a Stopping Place, a decade of poems, journals, and letters. So it's predominantly a poetry collection. Part tells my story for 10 years, the past 10 years. Part journals and letters that I never got around to sending for one reason or another, that I felt contributed to the story collection kind of thing. So it's a bunch of different things. I don't know, mainly just like my story, poetry. If you flip through it, you'll see there's a bunch of different like poetry, but then there's a bunch of different stuff, and so I don't know, I'm really stoked about it. It looks awesome. And yeah, so that'll be out soon. I'm sure I'll have another video out soon when it is out, and I'll link to Amazon and all that stuff. So anyway, that's the big announcement. This is why I have not had a YouTube video in a couple months, and I feel like putting out a 339 page book is a decent excuse. Maybe you disagree, but whatever. Today, just real quick, I want to share with you a thought that I have. One of the most common things that I get asked about by people who follow me on any of my platforms is porn. You know, I haven't talked about it in a little while, but I want to get back to opening that can of worms real quickly. I was having dinner with someone the other night, and he's a guy several years younger than me, and he said that this topic came up, and we were talking about it, and one thing he asked is, I forget exactly how he asked it. He said something like, what if I can never kick the habit and then I die? What happens? What does God think of me if I'm never able to quit? You know, up until my death, whenever that is, I die a porn addict. Do I go to heaven? Do I go to hell? Does Jesus still love me? Does God reject me? And I think that question is so multifaceted, and there's a bunch of different ways you have to go about answering it, right? So the first thing I said to him is, we'll call him Jim. I said, Jim, you're a Christian, but you weren't born a Christian, right? Like, you've sinned all throughout your life, and you accepted Jesus at some point in your life. But even before you were born, Jesus died on the cross, just chronologically, simple history, right? About the year 33 to 36 AD, Jesus Christ, the God-man, died on the cross. Now, did he know that you would start looking at porn when you were 12, 13 years old? Did he know when he died, remember this is 2,000 years ago, did he know that you would look at it a second time, and a third time, and a fourth time, and a fifth time, and a sixth time? So, did he still choose to go to the cross, and did he still choose to die for you because he loves you prior to you ever committing a single sin? And did he still go through with it? And Jim was like, okay, I get it. I see what you're saying. It makes sense. And it just kind of clicked with him. Like, every sin you have ever committed, we typically think of this in the past tense, right? Every sin I've committed has been forgiven by God. However, looking into the future, I can't seem to kick my porn habit. And I pick porn because it's a very common thing for guys in America to be hooked on. Just kind of indefinitely. It seems like a ubiquitous struggle that all of us have to one degree or another. So looking into the future, what if I'm not able to kick my porn habit? What if I look at porn and masturbate tomorrow? What if I do it next week? What if a year from now I'm still not any closer to quitting than I am now? Will God be mad and impatient that I am not progressing or getting any better? And the simple answer is obviously going to be no, because Jesus Christ knew every single instance of every single sin we would ever commit, and he still died for us in advance before any of us were even born. That just reminds me of how huge God's grace is for each and every one of us. A verse that popped into my head earlier today was Lamentations 3, I want to say 23. Lamentations 3:23, maybe. It says, his mercies are new every morning. And obviously that doesn't mean if you mess up after the morning, you have to wait till the next morning for new mercy. It just means there's this constant generation of grace and mercy from God. And I think that addiction, and this is a whole different topic, addiction is something God knows. Not from experience, but it's not like people become addicted to drugs or alcohol or sex or gambling or whatever it is, and God's like, oh shoot, I didn't plan for that. I planned for sins, but I didn't plan for addictions, which people couldn't break free from. Addiction is enslaving, and it is cruel, and it is mastering over people. It's heartless, but it's not bigger than God, and it's not bigger than Jesus, and it's not bigger than his grace, which he poured out for us on the cross all those years ago. So, I say this realistically. Tonight, you might give in and look at porn. Next week, 2 weeks from now, whatever your schedule is, whatever your ritual looks like, there's a chance that you'll mess up again. And I think that knowing before and after the fact that Christ knew you would do that and still died for you, Romans 5:8, for while we were still sinners, Christ died for us, right? Keeping that at the forefront of our minds is going to help us have grace on ourselves, knowing that we were already forgiven prior to the sin we even committed. Does that make sense? You guys tracking with me? So that's just a quick thought about the chronology of grace, right? Every single sin we'll ever commit, unconfessed or not, if we have faith in Jesus Christ, they are nailed to that cross already, even ones we haven't committed yet, including addictions, which we keep coming back to time and time again. Again, this is a huge topic. I want to talk more about it. Hit me up with questions in the comments. Email me, ethan@ethanreno.com, or just go to ethanreno.com and send me an email. Click the contact button. It sends an email straight to me. Anyway, I hope this was helpful for some of you guys. Just remember, God is so much bigger than your addictions. He's so much bigger than your sins. He's so much bigger than whatever it is you wrestle with and struggle with on a daily basis. So I know that that's a really big statement, and it can go a myriad of different ways. So we can tease some of them out in the future. But I'm going to stop it for here. I'm almost at 10 minutes according to this. But thanks for watching, guys. Again, sorry for not posting so long, but hopefully it'll be worth it if you pick up the new book. Also, if you live in Denver, we're having a book release party in 2 weeks. More details on that soon. There'll be live music, giveaways, readings, and a lot of cool people and coffee. So, thank you guys for watching. Love you all. Talk to you soon. Bye.